So the way Colliers maintains its workplace culture is just, it's at its roots, its purpose is to bring out the greatness in each other, right? So when you have something set up to do that, it perpetuates on itself. And then you have to give that you have to have some rules around that, right? So we have some basic things that we hope attract people and also repel people that we don't want working for us. So one of those is we committed to be respectful and grateful for one another. Now you would think that everybody want to do that, but in the sales world, some people don't. They want to be able to boss people around or to take advantage of leverage, right? So we say right off the bat, if you want to work here, you got to be grateful and respectful of everybody that works here. We say that we're going to compete with honor. Okay, we're not going to win at any cost. In a business that if you don't win, you don't get anything, right, so to speak. But we say, well, you do sometimes when you don't win. You get a lot. If you compete with honor, there's always something to be gained. And also, we're committed to collaborating and really learning together. And that also perpetuates that momentum that we've been able to hold, because it just, again, it continues to attract the kind of people we want. In fact, we had somebody start actually this week, and I was introducing to somebody in the office, and he said, yeah, I'm here to do this. And they said, oh, you've memorized Bob's lines. And I said, well, no, actually, that's what he was looking for. He was attracted to us. More than we recruited him, he found us. That's that kind of continues the momentum. So for us, how do we build our culture and build our business, which is the key. And I think the way we do that is by honoring our important principles. Again, I think a lot of people have a lot of written statements on what they're trying to do, and they don't really honor them. So I mentioned earlier that our top priority is to respect and be grateful for one another. The staff has a paraphrase for that. They call it the no jerks rule, right? So when someone's a jerk, you can either hope that they're not a jerk again tomorrow, you hope it can go away, or you need to go talk to them. And that's my job. And over time, I have to have a lot less and less talks, because what happens is when people step into the office, they know that there's these certain things that we do together that makes it why people want to come into work, why they want to work together, and why we could have such a record year. And so last year, for example, we did 1,200 transactions and helped our clients make $4 billion worth of real estate decisions in an economy that was just kind of coming back. And that's just with 62 brokers. And so that really is quite an accomplishment, but it just shows you the talent when they come together and really bring out the greatness in each other, what can happen. So the pandemic had a really strong impact on the culture, especially for a window of time when we weren't meeting together, right? We all had way too many Zoom meetings, right? Way too many remote conversations. And so what happens, there were a lot of breakdowns, to be honest with you. So I told people I went from a leader in the office to a manager, okay? Because I went from kind of creating a culture and a vision to dealing with breakdowns, and there were constant breakdowns. But the commitment to reminding people, let's don't worry about what caused the breakdown. Let's try to remember where we were trying to get to. By doing that, we kept a lot of momentum. But not having everyone in the office had a big impact on us, because we like to work together, and it's not the same to do that over the phone or over Zoom. So it's come back, because we never officially closed the office, but we did allow everybody to make the best decision for their family, which for a lot of people was not to come in. They had kids that were being educated at home. They had parents that they didn't want to, have any type of risk. So we allowed that. We thought that was important. We let everybody make their own decision. And now that a lot of things have settled down, we've started to really see people come back because they want to be, again, part of the dynamic culture in the office. Yeah, so the things that came out of the pandemic that have made our culture stronger are that we have learned to communicate when necessary virtually, okay? And so it used to be that a big part of the culture was that we were right there, we were kind of hand in hand, so to speak. But in today's world where things are moving very quickly, and also sometimes just for practical reasons, that you can have conversations now with people and make them very meaningful and keep a strong culture. And at the same time, by holding the same rules, honoring the same rules, and vision for ourselves, whether we're at home or in person, is also helped us. I think a very important best practice in having a strong culture is that it's got to be crystal clear. I like to say we have a vivid vision of what our culture is. And I think a lot of people don't have a vivid vision for that. And so what happens, they can't honestly say that the culture attracts and repels people. People might be thinking that's nice, but I mean our culture, literally people track us down and want to work for us. And there's other people that literally don't want to work for us because they don't like some of our what we think are very virtuous things. But I do think that if a culture isn't that clear, it just really isn't something that will change at all the needle, so to speak, on how you do business. And then I think the second is, again, you just have to honor it. When people aren't meeting what the expectations are, there needs to be conversations. And again, I find over time those conversations have become less and less because people now, again, want to be part of this. And then you actually feel a little awkward when you're not, really contributing in the great ways that our culture does. Yeah, so it was very important. In fact, this year in December, at the end of last year, I asked all the brokerage team to get together, and I held up our graphic and said, look, this is what I tell people we believe. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? I'm telling them that we are really striving together toward great things by doing the following. Again, respecting each other, collaborating, competing with honor, keeping work-life balance, being strong in the community, having a fun place to work, right? So I said, tell me if I'm wrong here, please correct me, because this is what I tell people why they should come work here. Now, I did the same with support just recently. And we have them separately just because the size, and did the same thing. And I said, the purpose of a strong culture is to bring out the greatness in everyone. So if you don't feel like that we are bringing out the greatness in you, then you should let me know, because we're not keeping our promise. And so I think that I think people pay attention when you do hold it out there. And it's simple things like no one has to explain to you what compete with honor means, or respect and be grateful for another. They're not complicated concepts, right? And so people get them, they grasp onto them, and then they practice them. So the single most thing I'm proud about our culture is that it is allowing very talented people who really want to thrive in their business, in their lives, to work with other people that have the same goals. And when you do that, it makes not only for a great place to work, but it attracts great clients, it attracts great opportunities. You leave with a lot of energy, even when you work really hard. You don't really feel like you're against the wind, so to speak. And so I'm really proud of that Colliers has become a great place to work, and that not only do we feel that way, but our clients feel that way, and the community that we get involved with feels that way too.